Sit and make my connections. It's to the eternal spirit of myself and places where they allow me in, basically, and where they want me in. And I rejected private colleges that did political social agendas that were based off genocidal elitism. Like any kind of private institutions, they're that way. The public institutions are not supposed to be that way. They're forced to assimilate because of the genocidal operations, but the public institutions try their best not to be. That's why I'm more drawn to public. That's where I wanted to go to college and I did go to college at a public institution, and it wasn't until my senior year that the administration explained to me, how I had to and what I had to do to graduate, and I wonder my mom got stressed out and died from cancer, summa cum laude. God, and asking her dad in spirit, the killer for the military, you proud of me now? I graduated summa cum laude and I'm dying. I did it. Like an officer, how you talk about Truman, a gentleman shouldn't speak like that. He shouldn't cuss, and people that cuss are just too goddamn ignorant to know what else to say. He was a mess. God bless his heart. God bless him. Possessive pronoun, bless him. Yeah, my grandpa was a mess. But life's eternal, grace is infinite. This shit is fucked, right? So, but I'm going through my memories, going through my stuff, looking through, right? And I'm, about my Steffi and my Patrick, and talking to Jesus and Adam and Eve in prayer. I know you got to marry her. I don't want to marry her. This is a wrong situation. This is an abused and arranged situation. Yeah, it is. But you have to. It's very important to the world that you do. It's like, God, that's horrible. Same thing with staying with Amy. When we were supposed to, when she was screwing around on me and I threw her out and she was going to take Natalie and I was going to take Noah, and me and Patrick and Noah were going to have and I'm like, oh, that sounds great, Patrick will love being big brother to Noah, and there won't be any girls around to, and, Natty's Kelly's and Noah's supposed to be mine, and we won't have any child support. It'll be a 50-50 split. That's what Amy gave me, And I was in the shower, and you can't. No, Natalie's one of the most important. I'm like, Jesus, what do you mean, Natalie's? You have to stay around Natalie. That's very important that you be around her. And then most of you, of knowing what I went through here in Las Cruces and in Cochise County and in Santa Fe with Amy and Natalie, most of you wouldn't do it. And then when I was in that bedroom, when I had to go back to Sierra Vista after we came here in 2008, I said, I don't want to do this. I make some, have somebody else. I don't want to do this. You have to. I don't want to go into those bowels of hell. I don't want to go into the Epstein network and the human trafficking and, and how they'll manipulate you to try to get you in the club and all that temptation and all that abuse. I don't want to feel I don't want to have to do it. Who else is going to do it? Or I'm going to do it. Wow. And I, but I get it. You guys study the Bible and you study the Quran. You study these books and you see how perfect these men are and why they have to, John in the cave in North Africa and not having to be with his wife and kids because the Romans would try to hunt him down and kill him. And they would try to hunt down and kill anybody that was like you and thought like you and had faithful communications like you. So all those, the St. Anthony's and all the wannabes, the pretenders, It's just, I found a picture of you, whoa, and as I said, that they'll fall to ruin one day for making us part. Yeah, I get it. I get the whole, back on the chain gang. That's the sound of the men working on the chain gang. Change is going to come. I get all of you. I understand all of you wanting to connect to him and wanting to be a part of him. And the best thing you can do is just stand up for the Lord's Prayer and appreciate him eternally and be like him to the best of your ability. Remember with Cindy Winters in Sierra Vista, when I was telling her about, a lot of people will want to, Kai Kugler, he wanted to be like Michael Jordan, but he was white and only 5'9". So he said, I gotta Mini tramp took care of that whole Michael Jordan thing. I feel it's like to be Michael Jordan. I run and I jump on a mini tramp, and yeah, I had pictures. My friends take pictures of me with my tongue out and slam and dunk. All right. So I want to know, and he said, everybody wants to hang out with Michael Jordan. Everybody wants to be part of his entourage. I remember saying, no, not everybody does. No, they can be real assholes. Okay. I know I'm the best jock, and they hurt me, and then say, why are you hanging out with him and do all the stuff with Natalie? You're too pretty to be hanging out with them. And all the nerdy kids and the unpopular kids that were abused were like, Earl, I want to go see Earl play basketball. He's the best basketball player I've ever seen, and he likes us. He's nice. And then there are others, I hate him. I don't need you, Ronnie Luff. I don't need you to stick up for me. You want to shove John's face in the bandsaw. Okay. Ah, damn. And John was doing it because he had to pick other people to be made fun of because everybody made fun of him. And it was horrible, and it is horrible. And I understand it. I understand the pair of Frank Francis and footprints and all that stuff. And I get it. And your candles and the candles that you guys buy on aisle 2 at Fiesta Foods. And yeah, I get it. I understand. You all want to be part of it. You are a part of it, whether you want to be or not. That one guy at Fort Huachuca, you poor bastard, there is no free will. You're going to be you whether you want to be you or not. There's no excuse for you. You work at, you have brain damage. Okay. You work at like the same, that Lutheran pastor, you judge people. Blah, blah, blah. He'd been watching me my whole life. And he had the audacity to listen to me and Amy having private conversations in our bedroom because it was a registered sex offender's apartment. And the landlord signed off to have surveillance cameras in there because he was a registered sex offender, and, the state, and he'd pay his, but, so she did that as a public service. He rents your apartment, but you have to let us go in there and he doesn't know, but we put in surveillance equipment. Is basically what happens. But she has to sign something because it has to be legal. So the landlord has to know. Bortwork doesn't have to know, but she does. Okay, because she has to be part of the, so you're going to rent to this guy. He's a registered sex offender. But we can put surveillance equipment, make sure nothing happens, and you're doing your public duty and you're being a good citizen. She's a nice lady. I liked her. And so that's why the one girl was dating the guy from the sheriff's department there, and they joked about me and the shower and the Moses prayer I had at crossover, and they could joke at me about it, and how we're watching you. They're watching me. I'm a pervert. They're watching me. Yeah, you have access to my 13-year-old taking a shower in the bedroom, and, like old Orlando Flores, Yeah, you have access to Natalie in the bathroom, and she's 13, and you have cameras in there, that any of you guys can watch, and I'm the pervert. You're keeping us safe, right? We need law enforcement to keep us safe. I agree. We need to enforce ourselves to obey the laws to keep ourselves safe. Holy jihad, Batman, I totally agree. I'm not those murdering assholes in the Middle East that calls themselves Muslims in an Islamic nation. There's no Islamic nation. Islam will overcome the world when we all submit to faith in the glory of God and love one another the way the Messiah loves you. And this, little kid won't be crying because Syracuse just lost to Notre Dame in the lacrosse national final game. Maybe the little kid will cry because they're still abusing the Messiah, and he stood up so we could all live the Lord's Prayer, and we don't have to sit there and say how amazing these kids are at throwing balls at each other's nutsacks, right? He threw it right between his legs, yeah. If that goes a little high, he's gonna hurt that guy. It's gonna hurt like a motherfucker, okay? You ever been hitting the balls by a baseball? That's why they wear cups. And even with a cup, it still fucking hurts like a son of a bitch. It hurts like a motherfucker. It could stop your capacity to reproduce children. That sucks. You don't care. You don't care. You'll cry if a bunch of jocks trying to make lots of money off of advertising lose a game for money off of advertising, but you won't cry if Earl's being abused by the perverts that give us advertising. That guy's crazy. He thinks he's God. Hey, Josh, Yago, you're a Catholic. Do you think I think I'm God? You think I think I'm God? Huh? Bueller? Anyone? Oh, remember that movie I watched about Yul the warrior? I think I still have it. I might have given it. I think I gave it to the library. so all the macho military assholes in town could watch it. I think I probably did. I think both. Yeah, I had a Warrior. I had. They were both called the Warrior, and I think, yeah, and I bought them both in Sierra Vista at secondhand store videos, things, and I think I donated them both to the library, so all the secondhand store video people from Cochise County could watch it. You know, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum. I have a sword. Me too. Me too. Me too. Comes out of his mouth. The truth, the proof of the truth. All you people, the so-called Muslims, you Muslims and Mormons out there. Comes out of his mouth. Boop, 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 boop. It's no Gene Simmons tongue, but it kicks the shit out of Gene Simmons' tongue all the way to putting women in cages in arena football and back again. Don't it? Don't it? I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. I'm not that type of person, no. I'm not very much of a party person. I'd rather go to bed early and wake up and get the apricots and garden and get the strawberries and the cantaloupe and the carrots and the potatoes with my wife and my favorite pair of her gray sweats and all the kids and grandkids. Yeah. I'm more that type of person. And then once the harvest comes in, then is it too much to ask? I want a comfortable bed that won't hurt my back, pins that won't run out of ink, cool kite, and time to think. I want a full house and a rock and roll band, yeah, or mariachi band, yeah, that too, and a funk band, yes, and a jazz band, yes, and not hurt ourselves while we're dancing like the Nicholas Brothers because we don't have to pay our bills, yes, and do the splits. No, why? Because it hurts. Do a split. No, it hurts. Okay, it hurts. So, shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop. Man, I'm glad I'm single. I am glad I'm single right now. I'm glad I'm single. No one will stand up with me without fear, But look, I know my mom would, and then other women would be like, because you're just like my mom, you won't be like Carmen Jones. But mom was taken from us because you guys are bastards, like Haley Joel Osment's mom in Fantasy. I know what love is. I'm a smart man. No, I'm not a smartphone. And then there's Michelle, my belle. These are words that go, suavecito, mi linda. The woman that was murdered in a smoke shop in 2011, and most of you women want to grow up to be like, Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, Pink, Jennifer Lopez, Destiny's Child, Melinda Michelle Bowen. You don't like chitlins? Well, you'll like mine, and I'll show you how to make them. Right? You're beautiful, right? You're too beautiful, right? For the other women to try to compare themselves with, because Earl ain't doing nothing wrong, and I'll do anything I can. I'll help him any way I can if I can. And she did. Prayer. Her prayer's good, and it helped me, Took a little time to calm me down, but she calmed me down, right? Something goes wrong. Yeah, I'm the first to admit it. And the last one to know something goes right. It's like to confuse me. Such an unusual sight. It's kind of something so right. Old Melinda Michelle Bowen. Yeah, Michelle. She's a good kid. Now, I couldn't be with any of the women I wanted to be with. I had to be with the women that the science project people required I be with. Yeah. I'm like St. Francis and St. Anthony and all the little smoke signal ass, book studying, nerd ass, child molesting, bank to pay it off motherfuckers in the Vatican City, right? They're nothing like me. They're all wannabes. They're pretenders. Yeah. And as I stand here today, they'll fall to ruin for a day. It's instant. The karma is just a word made up, but sin is instantaneous. The moment you accept sin over the truth, you're trapped in that sin eternally until you repent and submit to the faith in Islam, and then, you know what I'm saying? So, okay. Suavecito, mi linda. Suavecito. Never met a girl like you in my life. She's like, so funny, because when she moved in, that girl ran around like Miriam, in a t-shirt and panties almost half the day, all the time. And I'm like, is she ever going to go get in? I know she's around her brother, but she does know I'm here, right? God, it's like living at the dorm rooms at an HBCU with the most beautiful girl in the world who's a lot of fun and very spunky, and she's a single mom, and I love kids, and I'm a single dad, and she knows I love kids. And, she'd always look at her, I'd go up and down the stairs, and I'd try not to look, and she'd grin at me, and I'd be like, yeah, she's flirting. God. Yeah, think about it now. Whoa, it still works. Yeah, wow. Yeah, no, she was so pretty, and yeah. Flirtatious fun. Yeah, she knew what she was doing, Wendy Peppercorn. She knows exactly what she's doing. And I would just sit there, live it. I would do fucking Neil Sedaka's back. And do bop shaboo bop. I'm living right next door to an angel, all right? Shit. It was like 4 months. It was about 2 or 3 months, yeah. No, it was fun. It was one of the best 2 or 3 months in my life. Yeah. Oh, I think Patrick's the same way. Yeah. He had a harder time with Aunt Patrice, and because, Punchy, if Patrice got mad, he spanked, and then I had to fix it and work with it and stuff. And he loves Punchy. He loves Patrice too. She's just real emotional. And Punchy's more the one you can talk to because he'll listen. But when Michelle was there, it was way cool. Yeah. Well, because she knew how boys are, and she would give them, okay, guys, here's this, and give them the extra food, and because boys like to eat, and, and we had 3 incomes, so we were, and it was cute, yeah. And he adored, oh my gosh. If I was ever going to have a stepmom, it would have been her. And Patrick, what'd you screw that up for? They wouldn't allow me to marry her. The military intel was not going to allow it. They were going to kill her sooner or later, and she got more time as Michelle by not being married to me, and most likely, yeah, I think they would have had to kill her in Cochise County, right when we first got there. Things would have had to gone completely different. They wouldn't have been able to manage things as hideously and disgustingly if I had married her. She was too strong of a woman, and Steffi will tell you that, and Amy will tell you that. Oh, no, I when someone's a better person than you. Okay, you all do. Okay. Ted Cruz knows it. Oh, you're not hiring white people. Just forgive dead and trespass and love one another. Face, you little fucking cuntalingus face, and stop talking. And the lady there, I don't know what you're talking about. I never put that memo out. Extreme violent sex cult white Christians that don't want to commit abortions. I don't want to commit abortions either. Okay. I don't want a woman that was raped by the devil to have to give birth to his baby. But I don't see birth control as a form of abortion as a form of birth control. Those babies that were conceived with those 2 women in the 1980s have a spirit, Bodies just don't come in, boom, oh, it's off the rack, and oh, here, well, we're going to need Alec Baldwin to provide life to this baby. Lennon and McCarthy were your parents? All right, that's my song. My parents sing that for me. Okay. You've been copyrighted and you've been weighed, measured, and found wanting, right? Assholes, right? Well, good. Come on, cowgirls, let's go. Rooting for the cowgirl. Of course, my sister is a professor at this university, so yeah, I'm rooting for the cowgirls of Oklahoma State. So sue me. I have nothing against the Cornhuskers. I have nothing against them. If they win, I'm not gonna sell those dirty, rotten bastards like I do when they fuck my head with the programming thing on the on the technology. Well, just by having those psychotic hits where the guy hits them and stuff, that's bad brain activity. That's got to be fixed. That's got to be changed. It's tackle football, not physically try to disable each other and possibly kill each other by being a projectile. Break them in half like those dumbass football coach in football who's dressed up in Utah with the Polynesian kids. Well, they bring blood. I want there to be blood, right? Yeah. Okay. Give me that coaching. It won't take, no, it won't. It'll take about as fast as Pat Mariota pretending to take Mr. Koala Kai Cobra Kai. Only be faster. Right. Well, I'm Earl. I'm pretty sure that, Mr. Miyagi's not the Messiah. Come on, let's go. Come on. You going to tie up your chi? Okay, then tie up your camel too. Trust in Allah. Okay, you have a nice day. Oh, don't be any, if there's any blood offerings, it's going to be because we're in ancient Africa, and we have to sacrifice a ram and sprinkle the blood on it so the hyenas stay away from the kids because they know what's up and not to fuck with their daddy. Okay, you have a good day, baby boy. All right. Maybe you should get together with Utah people and do some Bible study and try to figure it out. Past, present, future operate at the same time. His name is Earl. Dad's name is Ralph. Mom's name is Mary. Born in the valley of shadow of death. Proved the Gospels. The 1322nd Redeemer. Second Redeemer. Excellent driver. 20 minutes to Wabner. Redeemed the Gospels beyond any reasonable doubts. And if you have anything that you perceive as doubts, you're just not a reasonable person. And you're a Lutheran pastor fronting on me from Fort Bliss at a meat counter in Sierra Vista, Arizona in 2009, right? What a crime. Right? Guys, I am the most studied and surveyed person in the history of the world. I am one of the most, I'm not considered, I am one of the most intelligent people in the history of the world for good reason. When I speak to you as a peer, one, you should be cognizant of your environment, and you should be very aware that I live in Las Cruces and I shop at Walmart on Loman. Okay, do not disrespect me. When I talk to you and you think, like that one kid, man, the one who told me to shut up when I was talking to the girl about, and you don't let anybody tell you I was talking inappropriately and he shut me up. And I was like, nobody shuts me up in this fucking town. You didn't take on the people that tag, bag, and rape girls in Mexico for bad science projects all by yourself and get abused by it, and everybody stand around watch and do nothing of real significant value to help you because we're not using technology to share the truth of a living Messiah, to live the applied physics of the Lord's Prayer, right? And I still will talk to this kid every time I go, so I try to say something nice to get him to show me the respect that I give him. And he won't. And you're like, ain't nobody told this kid what the fuck is up? Obviously, you guys, man, when you sit around and drink and listen to your music you think is good, but sucks because it's to program you to think the way that the people that are programming you want you to think. Yeah. Even if it is good music, even if it's down at the beach or party in town, making love or just lying around, they're still manipulating you with the things you like to buy, the video games, the women you want to have sex with, what the women you want to have sex with are doing, thinking, and saying that's different than what you might be doing to direct you to where they want your penis to go. That one lady? Every man in the world is running around by a good stiff boner, and that's because they're all following a twitchy twat, right? The urge to procreate the species is the strongest urge on the entire planet. Well, because if you don't have that urge, we die. The urge to merge. Isn't that I swear that's a Natalie Cole song. Yeah. I think it is. Don't quote me. I don't know. Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. Met him 3 times. 3 times. Eric, yeah. That's more than I can say for most of you. Yeah. Eric, easy, you're right. Met him 3 times. So I was very respectful to him. The 3rd time, though, I was very pissed at him. Okay. That's Sade. We don't disrespect our African queens, right? So, y'all need to take that out. You didn't ask, and that's Sade. You need to put it back. They took hers out and put theirs in. It's like, where's Sade at? Put it back. It's just no. Okay. I was pissed. They came and ripped out our Sade display. Oh, they were just lucky Sergio wasn't there. Okay. Sergio would have lost his mind. Okay. You took down my Chardonnay and put up that shit? He snatched Eric Bald. Ice Cube running. The little homosexuals beating everybody's ass. Okay. Sergio put that up. Okay. You don't touch Sergio's displays. No. Ask Madonna. Okay? Ask Sean Penn. Okay. Don't fuck with Sergio's shit. Okay. You'll get the duster kicked out of you. Don't touch his shit. No, nobody touches his shit. No. He is a lot like Buddy. They come in wearing that duster and So long, Frank Lloyd Wright. Architects may come and architects may go. Never change their point of view. Right? Very funny. If Paul Simon's listening to this, he knows what I'm talking about. But Art Garfunkel too? Is he still with us? What was the name of the girl? Edie Brickell. Art. Are they still married? It wasn't Art. It was Paul. Paul married Edie Brickell, right? She is all right. I liked his stuff better. Yeah. I still like his stuff better. I like a lot of. I still like a lot of. He's one of my favorite composers of all time. Anybody else particularly fond of Paul Simon? I like El Condor Pasa. I like You Can Call Me Al. Yeah. And if it wasn't for him, most of us wouldn't have, quote, discovered, Oh, come, never come, oh, come. My mom adored Ladysmith back by Mazo. Anybody else? Rain, 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 rain. Beautiful rain, oh, come to me. Oh, never come, oh, come, never come, oh, come. Beautiful rain. They had some of the best harmonies. It's like, yeah, with The Lion Sleeps Tonight in its original language with Miriam Makeba, and it's gorgeous. You listen to it, it's goosebumps, man. It gives you goosebumps all over. Yeah, and that's the way the harmonies of it, the harmonies of Ladysmith on Back Bazo, Moya and Clannad, and they ain't got nothing on them. And I'm sure that Moya and Inya and their brothers from Claude think the same thing. I'm sure they adore Ladysmith Black Mamazo. I'm sure they sit and listen to Beautiful Rain and go, oh, that is gorgeous. And listen to Umbe by Miriam Makeba and say, there's not many better. She's, oh my Malaika, I was never any good with money and I should have married you, my angel. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's I think it's just as nice with her and Harry Belafonte. Yeah, it's really pretty. Harry has a really nice voice, and you can tell she likes him, and she likes flirting with him and loves singing with him. It's cute, yeah. Malaika, no campienda, Malaika. Yeah, anybody else love that? I love that song. I'm starting to cry. Well, I know Oprah and Gail love it. I know Miriam is one of Oprah's favorites, and I know Gail simply adores Miriam Makeba. You'd have to be a moron not to. I totally agree, Gail King. Yeah, that's not an opinion. That's a fact. It's true. It's true. No, R. Kelly can't love his Jeep, and you have to be a moron if you do not like Miriam Makeba. Those are two facts. Okay, you cannot love your Jeep. Okay. And if you don't completely adore Miriam Makeba's voice, something's wrong with you. You just can't. It's pata time. That's all I got to say about that. No. Okay. Malaika is one of my favorite songs of all time. It's so gorgeous, right? Especially the way she sings it. Oh my God. And it's really good with her and Harry. It's beautiful, yeah. The duet is wonderful. Yeah. I should have married you, my angel. Yeah, I'm getting goosies just thinking about it. I'm going to go listen to it when I'm done here. I got her version and theirs on my MP3. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I have good taste and I did it twice. Why not? Why don't you? The question is like, Henry David Thoreau, what are you doing in jail? That's not the question. Why aren't you here in jail with me? Why aren't you incarcerated on house arrest in the valley of shadow of death with me? Why aren't you sitting next to me? Malaika no campinda. Michelle would be here on my right, and Marianne would be here on my left going, I like her. Yeah. I like her like I like the Montalvo girl. Yeah, I like her. She's a keeper. My mom never met Michelle. Michelle didn't move from Illinois to Phoenix until after my mom had passed away. Oh, my mom would have completely adored Michelle. Oh, you can ask my sister Patrice. Oh, you kidding? Mom would have been, I just love her. Earl, you need to marry that woman. No matter what it takes, you need to marry that woman. You need to beg, borrow, steal. That woman, Miriam, that woman loves you, Earl. You know when you can tell through a woman's voice on the phone that a woman loves that man, you can tell. But just by the way she talks about you, I knew she was in love with me too. After about a week we were together, and she kept talking to me. Is this guy for real? Wood came up to me and go, "You stupid asshole! I had to work all fucking week because of you. It wasn't me. It was her." Oh, I wasn't trying to get her to fall in love with me. I was just trying to be her friend. I didn't mean to. Did you mean to fall in love with her? Of course I did. You couldn't help but fall in love with her. She's a wonderful woman. Think I'm stupid or something? You can't help it when you're that close to somebody and they're trying to see if you're going to abuse all the people they work with because you're abusive like the people we work with. And she finds out you're one of the most beautiful men she's ever met because she asks you all these questions. And she keeps going. And you can't help but answer truthfully and honestly because you're a truthful and honest person because you're a faithful lover. Can't help but both fall in love. Right place, wrong time. Yeah, because you guys were dead and trespassing and you're complete murdering assholes. You won't stand up for the truth, that I'm the proof of the truth. And artificial general intelligence and quantum computing, everything's getting fixed right here. And if you don't believe that, then you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you don't believe in Muhammad, you have no faith in God, you're using words just to rape people over money because you're an egomaniac that's been doing it for 100,000 years, and you've been doing it for 50 years, go watch the Aggies lose again in football this year, been doing it 50 years, why stop now? Well, we won the Arizona Bowl, the Quick Lane Bowl, and then lost the New Mexico Bowl. So, they didn't lose. Most of the time those years, we won most of the games that year. Yeah. Ask the folks at Bowling Green and Utah State and tell all the people at Fresno State, you beat us this time. Remember when Tavion Rogers beat you guys at the Aggie Memorial Stadium, broke that record? Yeah, it was pretty cool, huh? And you guys all got mad because we're losing to New Mexico State? Yeah, it happens. Okay. Yeah. Want a bumper sticker? Okay. It happens. It's funny. Oh, go gump yourself. Get on the hump of the wump gump. Cease and desist. Never mind. You don't get it. Never mind. Cat Williams gets it. Cease and desist. Hump of the wump gump. Okay. I love you guys, man. Literacy. It helps. If you're dyslexic, it's because you rejected genocidal operations through tribalism. But you can still understand what I'm saying, and you can still love me the way I love you. You don't have to be able to read a book to be an intelligent person. Lots of people are dyslexic. But you do have to be able to understand what people are saying so you're not indoctrinated and abused and be skeptical enough to understand truth from lie, right? Well, I'm intelligent. I'm an educator, not a dictator or a legislator. Well, I'm not in the digital world. I help the digital world not dictate and legislate so we don't have to use words and symbols to fuck and fight and kill over money, except as reality. I love you. Peace.